This is the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today, I'm your host. So, Triple H is officially in the WWE Hall of Fame for 2025. And, you know, if you're living underneath a rock just a couple minutes ago, maybe like in the last hour, they also announced somebody else. They announced Michelle McCool, the wife of The Undertaker. And I just want to start. Don't think they're adding her because she is the wife of The Undertaker. You know, she had her accolades and then became the wife of The Undertaker. So, you know, I wouldn't say that she's not deserving to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. But the question that I'm asking you today is, who is next? Some of the names that we're going to be talking about today have been waiting for years. They've made an undeniable impact on the world of pro wrestling, more so the WWE than any place else. And one of the names that I'm going to name for you, it might just hit you right in the feels. But before we start, I wanted to let you know that this podcast is totally interactive. So I want you to know that all you've got to do is interact in the chat, whether you're watching this live or on demand on YouTube. Just go ahead and go in the chat and just type out whatever it is that you want to type that is on your heart, because I read every message. And today we are going to debate. So who do you think is missing from the WWE Hall of Fame? I'm looking forward to see what you have to say throughout the show. But the first person I'm talking about, before the WWE became a global phenomenon, let me not even stop. Before pro wrestling became the global phenomenon that it is today, this person that I'm naming played a major role in making pro wrestling mainstream. If you don't know who I'm talking about none other than Cyndi Lauper. She wasn't just another celebrity, that's her in the middle, between, you know, Hulk Hogan, Lion Hulk Hogan, and Mr. T. Cyndi Lauper, she wasn't just another celebrity who made a guest appearance in the WWE. In fact, she was the first celebrity to make a guest appearance in the WWE. And she was one of the most important figures in the WWE to make it rise to mainstream in the success of the 1980s. Without her influence, without Mr. T, without Hulk Hogan, there would have been no WrestleMania. We're getting ready for WrestleMania 41 right now. Right, we're on the road to WrestleMania. And without Cyndi Lauper, there would have been no WrestleMania. WrestleMania 1 would not have been launched into the cultural and global phenomenon that it is today. Here is why she absolutely deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. She was a part of the Rock and Wrestling Connection, the first WWE pop culture boom. Yeah, now today we got our Bad Bunny, we have our Logan Pauls, but before them, we had our Mike Tyson in the 90s, but before all of them, it was Cyndi Lauper. In the mid-1980s, Cyndi Lauper, she was one of the biggest music stars in the world, with hits like Girls Wanna Have Fun and Time After Time. She used her mainstream popularity to bring the WWE into the music and entertainment world. I think music is a big part of the WWE, all because of Cyndi Lauper. She played a part into that. Cyndi used her mainstream popularity to do all of that, and she helped cross over Vince McMahon's vision of making pro wrestling a worldwide phenomenon, making pro wrestling just more than just a part of the state or the world that you etch out. So if in case you don't know, pro wrestling used to be, you know, okay, this is my territory. I got this state, you got that state, I got these couple states. But Vince McMahon thought bigger. He said, I want the world, I want the planet. And if it was up to Vince McMahon, he'd have the whole entire universe. But when it comes to Cyndi Lauper, she wasn't just a guest. She was directly involved in a major WWE storyline that helped define the era. She managed Wendy Richter in that first WrestleMania and made women's wrestling at WrestleMania a big deal. So we're all up in arms today talking about how, you know, pro wrestling is this for women, pro wrestling is that for women. But without Cyndi Lauper, there would have been no women's wrestling at WrestleMania, probably. At the Brawl to End It All. This was like one of the big events leading up to WrestleMania. This was in 1984. This is the first time pro wrestling ended up on MTV. They had Sunday Night Heat and a bunch of other wrestling things on MTV in the late 90s. But before that, about 15 years prior, we had the Brawl to End It All on MTV, and Wendy Richter, along with Cyndi Lauper in her corner, she defeated the Fabulous Moolah for the WWF Women's Championship. This was the first time that a wrestling event ever aired on MTV, drawing such huge mainstream attention to the WWE. That's why I think that she deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. She's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. And one thing I'm going to do as well, too, I'm going to let you know some names that are in the WWE Hall of Fame over her. Why are they in there and she's not? Let's keep going. She helped, with the brawl to end it all and the war to settle the score. Those are major TV events for the WWE, WWF back in the day that brought millions of viewers from MTV to the WWE, right? Okay, you know what? If Cyndi Lauper's in it, I think I should be in it as well, too. This was the first time WWE reached a mainstream, non-pro wrestling audience, directly leading to WrestleMania success. Why she ain't in the WWE Hall of Fame, huh? Without Lauper, I'm going to say this right now. Without Lauper, Cyndi Lauper, WWE might not have been able to make that connection with non-pro wrestling fans, with the MTV audience that weren't pro wrestling fans, that helped launch WWE into being this pop culture thing. The reason why pro wrestling is so famous, why all the stars want to go, why it's so cool for all the stars to be there, is because of Cyndi Lauper. Looking at WrestleMania 1, Cyndi Lauper was a major reason WrestleMania 1 was a success. Tell me that I'm a lie. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was there, brother. Yeah, Mr. T was there, I pity the fool. But what about girls just want to have fun? Her involvement alongside Mr. T and Hulk Hogan was one of the key selling points that made people come up off their wallets and give that money. Yeah, she's recognized by the WWE, but she's still not inducted. Why? Let me tell you. WWE has acknowledged Cyndi Lauper and her impact on pro wrestling multiple times. She was featured in WWE's Women History Month tributes. She's appeared on Monday Night Raw in 2012, where Roddy Piper presented her with a framed gold record of appreciation for her WWE contributions. Stephanie McMahon has publicly praised her for her contributions to WWE history. So here's the question. So why Cyndi Lauper ain't in there yet? If you like what I'm talking about, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. The subscribe means a lot. It means that you think I'm doing a good job, but we're not done yet. We got so much to do. Cyndi Lauper's long overdue, especially when Mr. T and Kid Rock are already in there. You heard me. I said Mr. T and Kid Rock. Okay, look. Mr. T was added in 2014. Let me justify Mr. T. All right? Granted, WrestleMania's success was built off of his back. Him and Hulk Hogan, Mr. T being that pop culture icon with Mr. T with the A-Team and Rocky 3, it drew more eyes to the WWE. So yeah, Mr. T did a really good job drawing eyes to the WWE, but so did Cyndi Lauper. Without WrestleMania 1, without Mr. T, WrestleMania 1 may not have been that, successful. He followed up, though, in WrestleMania 2, and he had a boxing match with Roddy Piper. Not one of the best WrestleMania moments, but you know what? It was a moment still, nevertheless, right? He's wrestled in the ring. And you know what? He's played a bodyguard-type role for Hulk Hogan, and he was a part of the reason why pro wrestling became cool, Mr. T. Now let's look at Kid Rock. Kid Rock is a musician, just like Cyndi Lauper, okay? And what did Kid Rock do for the WWE? Well, he got inducted in 2018. He used his song, The American Badass. It was used for the Undertaker's biker gimmick, and that's what Undertaker's using right now. And he got put into the Hall of Fame for that. He performed at WrestleMania 25, a live concert before the Women's Battle Royal for the WrestleMania 25 in 2009. They put him into the Hall of Fame for that. His music was used in pay-per-view songs and promo packages. He appeared at WWE's Tribute for the Troops, and that's it. He just contributed music and a few live performances, but he never main evented a WrestleMania. He was never involved in a match in any kind of way. He never built WWE's credibility and never had an actual storyline with WWE talent. My verdict so far is, compared to Mr. T, Kid Rock's impact in the WWE was minor. His songs were used, sure, but does that warrant a Hall of Fame induction? Tell me right now in the chat, whether you're watching now or on demand. When you got somebody like Cyndi Lauper, who was crucial in WWE's success, and she's still not in there, here's the question again. So why is Cyndi Lauper left out? This is where the WWE's Hall of Fame credibility gets questions. I said it. I love the WWE through and through. I've been watching WWE since Moses was a child. And for them to not put Cyndi Lauper in there, it makes me question the credibility of the WWE Hall of Fame. Look, If you ask me, Cyndi Lauper was just as important, if not more important than Mr. T. She was the driving force behind the rock and wrestling connection, bringing MTV and mainstream media to the WWE. She managed Randy Richter, who was a WWE Hall of Famer and already in, the WWE Hall of Fame. She wrestled. Why Cyndi Lauper in there? She did more for the WWE than Kid Rock. I just proved that point. While Kid Rock gave the WWE music, Cyndi Lauper gave the WWE an identity in the 80s, helping transition in it mainstream. If Mr. T deserves an induction, heck, if Drew Carey, the guy from The Price is Right, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. If they're in the WWE Hall of Fame, let me tell you something, Cyndi Lauper definitely belongs to be in the Hall of Fame. Look, they got people like Snoop Dogg, Snoop D-O double G's been in there, and Kid Rock on the WWE Hall of Fame. How is Cyndi Lauper still waiting? Right now, I need you to type yes or no in the chat if you agree. Yes if you agree, no if you don't agree. Let's take a look at the chat. Dominique McGregor checking in. Welcome, Dominique. Nice to have you here at the Tristan Law Show. You're becoming a familiar face here. I know that you're doing your little podcast thing, so make sure you guys check that out. Dom delivers wherever you listen to a podcast. Go ahead and give her a listen. But she says that Mr. T's star power in WrestleMania 1 helped mainstream WWE setting the stage for celebrity involvement in wrestling. That's right. That's right. 100% right. You got that right. Look, if you're looking at my ugly, muggly face right now and you don't like what you're looking at, I need you to remember that 6 days after every episode goes live on YouTube, you can listen to it wherever you find the podcast, or you know what? I have the podcast drop on YouTube. So if you just want to listen, you don't want to look at me, you can do that. But you know what? You're going to be late to the game, so it doesn't matter. Let's take a look at another name who deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Put them in this year. We're shifting gears from pop culture royalty to pro wrestling's most hardcore legend. The next guy literally put his body on the line every single night. And if you don't know who I'm talking about none other than Tommy Dreamer. He is one of the most important figures in ECW history. Okay, stop. You're probably asking me, why are you talking about, ECW? This is WWE Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got that right. But WWE bought ECW way back in the day, back in 2001, and WWE is the premier Hall of Fame for pro wrestling. They have people in the WWE Hall of Fame that have never stepped into a WWE ring. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Tommy Dreamer stepped into a WWE ring. He has had a long history with ECW. He has a long, influential career beyond ECW, and here is why Tommy Dreamer belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame. He embodied ECW's hardcore spirit. He was willing to put his body through anything for that company and its fans. His rivalry with Raven alone is one of the most legendary feuds in ECW history. He refused to win the ECW championship for years, wanting to stay the underdog hero for the fans. Look, we know pro wrestling is predetermined, and he said, I don't want to win the championship, I just want to be the underdog. I want to come out there and fight from up underneath every single night, and that's what Tommy Dreamer did in ECW. His loyalty. He's ECW's loyalty-driven leader. While many stars left ECW for the WWE and WCW, Tommy Dreamer stayed loyal, and he was there until it shut down in 2001. Tommy Dreamer was the one that cut off the lights for ECW. I'm being a little bit dramatic, but let's say that he did. He shut off the lights for ECW. He worked behind the scenes as a talent scout, a producer, and a locker room leader in ECW, ensuring its survival as long as possible. Why is he not in the WWE Hall of Fame? Yeah, he eventually won the ECW championship in 2000, but more importantly, he was one of ECW's pillars, giving everything to ECW to make that company work. Tommy continued, and he influenced WWE and everybody else's future with this hardcore legacy, winning the WWE Hardcore Championship many times. Let's look at his long-term contributions and tell me that I'm a liar. After ECW folded, Tommy Dreamer joined the WWE and became a key figure in the hardcore division, carrying the ECW's legacy into WWE's Attitude Era. He was part of WCW's ECW revival from 26 to 2010 and became the final ECW original champion before leaving. Behind the scenes, what you don't get to see on the camera, he worked as a producer in the WWE and a talent scout, and done so in multiple promotions, influencing the next generation of wrestlers. Let's look at, you're probably saying, okay, there's ECW stars in there. Look at who is already from ECW in the WWE Hall of Fame, and you tell me why Tommy Dreamer's not in there. Paul Heyman. Yes, the advocate for, Brock Lesnar, the wise man for Roman Reigns, and he is the mastermind and promoter of ECW. He was put in 2021. We got Terry Funk. Terry Funk got put in 2009, and he is the grandfather of hardcore. We got the Dudley Boys, the two guys that trained me in 2007, in June 2007, that got me started in the pro wrestling business. Why, they're in there, and I'm not doubting that they should not be in there, but why is Tommy Dreamer not in there as well, too? Oh, look, Rob Van Dam, Mr. RVD, the Mr. Whole Effing Show, he was put in 2021, and you got Sabu. Sabu was put in, I think, last year, and you got Taz, right? Maybe no, I don't think Taz was put in there. No, Taz and Sabu are not in there, but let me tell you this. When WWE was in Philadelphia, that was the time that they should have put Tommy Dreamer in the WWE Hall of Fame. Should have. So why is Tommy Dreamer still not in it? He was the face of ECW and still has continued to wrestle for over 30 years. If WWE wants to honor ECW properly, Tommy Dreamer needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Look, I've met Tommy Dreamer. I've wrestled on shows with Tommy Dreamer. I've actually even wrestled Tommy Dreamer. I wrestled Tommy Dreamer on a beach about maybe 2 or 3 years ago in New Jersey. Tommy Dreamer's a nice guy, right? Tommy Dreamer doesn't walk around flouting his star power because Tommy Dreamer knows he's a star. Tommy Dreamer knows that he is the heart and soul of ECW. But why doesn't the WWE know that? Let's take a look at the chat. So Dominique McGregor, she says, what if it's her personal choice not to be a part of it? You know what? That's fair. Maybe it is her personal choice not to be a part of it. But you know what? She needs to say that. Call me. She needs to come onto the Tristan Law Show and say, hey, dude, thank you so much for advocating for me. But you know what? I really don't want to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. You know what I ask her? Why? Why? Cyndi Lauper, if anybody knows Cyndi Lauper, put this on social media, tag her. You tell her, I would like to know why she's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. Maybe she has a reason why she's not in there. And Dominique comes back again and says that WWE inducts celebrities selectively and some influential figures have been overlooked. She should have gotten it. You're going to hand clap again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your head is for a lot more than holding up your headphones when you podcast. That's right. I guess that you wear headphones because I wear headphones when I podcast. Don't forget to come back this Tuesday, do another live show at noon. Hit that subscribe button so that you can be here, be square, when we come back to talk about more pro wrestling things because we're getting ready to the road to WrestleMania and we got so much things that we got to talk about. All right, so I got another name for you. And I think this one might be a little controversial, but I definitely want to prove the case for this one. A lot of people might not, agree with me in this one, but listen to me. Just listen to me till I get to the end of my argument of to why I feel like this person should be in the Hall of Fame. And this one might surprise you, but when you think about it, this person started one of the most legendary traditions in WrestleMania history. Oh, you don't know who I'm talking about? Oh, I'm talking about none other than Ray Charles. Ray Charles, he may not have stepped in the ring, but his contribution to WrestleMania's legacy is undeniable. And here's why he belongs in the WWE celebrity ring. He helped establish WrestleMania as a grand spectacular. Look, if we're going to put Kid Rock in there, we might as well put Ray Charles in there as well, too. Ray Charles, at WrestleMania 2 in 1986, he delivered the iconic performance of America the Beautiful, setting the tone for the biggest event in WWE history. Now, in WrestleMania 1, they did the national anthem, and it was sung by Mean Gene Okerlund and the fans in attendance in Madison Square Garden. If you ask me, I think it was trash. right? I think if you can't sing, there's two types of music you shouldn't sing: church music and the national anthem. And they let Gene Okerlund do it. It was terrible. But from 1986 all the way up until, I think it was WrestleMania last year, they didn't do America the Beautiful. So that song is so iconic that they've been doing it for, 39 plus years? And he can't get a little bit of love? Look, the song wasn't new by any means whatsoever. Ray Charles took the song, right, put it on his album back in the day, and his soulful rendition added legitimacy and prestige to the WWE, signaling that WrestleMania wasn't just a wrestling show. It was an event on par with major sporting spectacles, just like the one we watched last weekend, the Super Bowl. WWE chose America the Beautiful over the national anthem for most WrestleManias, and Ray Charles's performance is often cited as one of the best versions ever. Look, I got goosebumps thinking about it because I could hear the song playing in my head. He sang the shit out of the song. The other people have sung the song, right? Look, you got people like Aretha Franklin. She sang it at WrestleMania 3, right? You got Reba McEntire. She sang it. Boyz II Men, they sang it. John Legend. And now look, man, you can't say John Legend can't sing. He sang the shit out of that song as well, too. Jennifer Hudson sang the song as well, too. But without Ray Charles leading the way, that tradition may not have existed. Or at the very least, it wouldn't carry the same weight as it does today. Let's look at the chat. The chat's busy today. Matthew Rodriguez says he wants to see Goldust in the Hall of Fame. Look, I don't dispute that either. I would love to see Goldust in the Hall of Fame. I think he's more than deserving. For those of you who don't know, Goldust is Dustin Rhodes. He is the elder brother of Cody Rhodes, Mr. Finish the Story, and the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He belongs in there, 100%. We're not doubting that at all. He belongs in there, but you know what? Maybe because he works for, AEW right now, it's not right. But I think the day that he retires or leaves AEW, they're going to stick him in there. Or maybe they can come to some kind of deal to do a cross promotion. But whatever, we're going off track. But yes, thank you so much for your comment, Matt. 100%, Matthew Rodriguez, that he belongs in there. We got Dominique checking back, and she said Ray Charles needs to be in it. He did not get in it due to limited WWE involvement. Ray Charles might have only made a one-time appearance. Yeah, one-time appearance, but they still sang his song, right? For years and years and years. And what did Kid Rock do? Play a couple of music, did a little concert. He showed up, twice? And he's in there? Look. His performance, Ray Charles, thank you so much for everybody for your comments today. And if you're watching on demand, go ahead and put your comments in there as well, too. Ray Charles's performance is one of WWE's most memorable musical moments. There's another one in my mind. And we don't really talk about him because he liked baby oil. But that person did a song, I'm Coming Home, at WrestleMania in New Jersey. I think that was WrestleMania 25, 30, one of them. He was in it. 29. It was 29. But Ray Charles is an undisputed music legend. And his performance at WrestleMania 2 remains one of WWE's most elegant and respected musical moments. Ray Charles is an undisputed musical legend. He has sold more records than Kid Rock. I don't have to look that up. I believe that. Tell me that I'm a liar. Look it up after we're done talking. WWE has acknowledged him multiple times by including his performance in historical retrospectives and promotional materials. Look, you know what? Let's take this a step further. During the pandemic era for WrestleMania, the era of wrestling that we really don't go back and watch, they still did America the Beautiful. But they did it as a mashup of Ray Charles and everybody else that sang America the Beautiful. They had Ray Charles lead it and had everybody just mash it all together and cut it and split it. And it was a montage of all the beautiful performances of America the Beautiful. Ray Charles, he was the featured voice. Other celebrities have gotten in for less, but why not Ray Charles? The celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame, it includes names of people who have contributed in less meaningful ways than Ray Charles. Let's quickly glance over that. Kid Rock, talked about him already. He ain't done shit. Drew Carey, he entered one Royal Rumble match. That's right, the guy from The Price is Right, the comedian guy, he entered one Royal Rumble match as a comedy spot, and they put him in the Hall of Fame. Snoop Dogg, Snoop D-O-double-G for shizzle my nizzle. He got put in 2016. He made multiple appearances with the WWE, but he's never really had a major WrestleMania moment. Yeah, he's been there at WrestleMania, but why is Ray Charles not in there? Okay, wait, I got one even better for you. They added William Shatner. That's right, I'm talking about the guy from Star Trek. I'm talking about the guy from 911. I'm talking about the Priceline negotiator himself, William Shatner. And he was put in because he made a couple of backstage segments. Look, listen. If Kid Rock and Drew Carey are in the WWE Hall of Fame for major contributions, why is Ray Charles still looking at the outside when he started a WrestleMania tradition? My final verdict is that put Ray Charles in the Hall of Fame. Ray Charles didn't just perform a song, he helped shape the identity of WrestleMania. He contributes to a tradition that still exists nearly 40 years later, and if WWE is serious about honoring its most influential celebrity contributors, then Ray Charles belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame celebrity wing. Let's go back to the chat. Man, we got a lot going on today. Dominique says, but I like Kid Rock, American Badass, and when the Undertaker used it. I like Kid Rock too. I'm not saying that I hate him, but why Ray Charles not in it? Thank you for your comment. Matthew Rodriguez says, but if the forbidden door opens, it will be my booking. Cyndi gets inducted by two people and you will understand the joke. Wendy Richter and Timeless Tony Storm. Yeah, I get that. Yep. Because time after time, and, you know, I'm giving them a hand clap because I get it. If you don't get it, I don't know where you at. You think that Ray Charles belongs in the Hall of Fame? Have I proved that point? Tell me in the chat, whether you're watching live or on demand. I need to know. I like to know. I want to hear from you. If you like what I'm talking about so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Sometimes I get worked up doing the Tristan Law show. I get worked up a lot because sometimes I'm passionate about my pro wrestling. It took a long time ago, something happened on the TV, and it made me say to myself, you know what, I need to go ahead and get myself into the ring. I love pro wrestling. There's only two things in the world that I love, my son and pro wrestling. And I love that I get to talk about pro wrestling. I don't talk about my kid here. It's another Tristan Law son podcast. That's not what we doing. But the other person I want to talk about, this one might be emotional for some of you. Be sure to subscribe. If this man was still with us today, we wouldn't even be discussing his Hall of Fame induction. However, since he's no longer here with us, there is no denying his impact on the WWE, on pro wrestling, and there's still an impact felt today. Bray Wyatt, he wasn't just another WWE superstar. He was a once-in-a-generation mind who revolutionized storytelling in wrestling. His impact on WWE, his unforgettable characters, and his lasting legacy make him a no-brainer for the WWE Hall of Fame. He was one of the most creative minds in pro wrestling history. Bray Wyatt was only 2 years younger than me. So Bray Wyatt should have been looking at his 38th birthday this year, but unfortunately he doesn't do that. He leaves behind his children and left behind his fiancée, JoJo. He reinvented character work in the WWE, blending horror and psychology and deep storytelling in ways that you've never seen before. Bray Wyatt, though, what made him special was that he wasn't just a wrestler. He was a storyteller. And I think that's one of the most important things about pro wrestling, especially in the WWE. Moves are nice. Moves are real nice. But if you can tell a story and have people emotionally invest with you and go along for the ride with you, yeah, I think you've done it. Bray Wyatt, he crafted lore-rich narratives that blurred the lines between fiction and reality. I think the way that the WWE is telling stories today, that is so long-term, and you need to start watching more than just what's happening in front of you. You need to start looking in the background. That's something that I first started seeing with Bray Wyatt. Bray's ability to evolve his character kept fans engaged for years, ensuring his presence was always must-see on TV. He debuted with the Wyatt family in 2013. It was a game-changing faction. He had the late Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, who is currently in the WWE in the Wyatt Six, which is a group that, I'm going to be talking about in a couple episodes, but they're doing some things, so I got to wait till that goes. But it was the Wyatt family was a dark, cult-like presence never seen in modern WWE. He's had legendary rivals with The Shield. Every single person in The Shield belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame. Daniel Bryan, who's Bryan Danielson, that's his real name, in AEW, and John Cena, you can't see him. Wyatt's airy promos and cryptic messages and chilling delivery made him one of the most unique people WWE has ever seen. But then it got worse. He debuted The Fiend. In 2019, he completely reinvented himself with that character, introducing a split-like personality gimmick that was never done before in the WWE like that. The Fiend was an unstoppable horror villain, while WWE kind of, pooped the bed sometimes with the character. I think that the Firefly Funhouse thing that Bray Wyatt used to do, kind of like a Mr. Rogers-esque thing, it was unsettling. It was family-friendly at the same exact time, but it was so cool to watch. The Fiend had his had his debut match in let's see, when did the Fiend have his debut match? It was Finn Balor in 2019. I had that written down here somewhere because I forgot that. He's considered one of the best. It's considered one of the best character introductions in WWE history. One of the most legendary character introductions in pro wrestling history. Better than the Shockmaster. Just about as good as Kane. Like, it's just like mind blowing what Bray Wyatt did in such a short time. His mask, the presentation, the airy entrances, that were all iconic and sold massive amounts of merch. I had the opportunity to see Bray Wyatt's come out as The Fiend live. I think it was SummerSlam 2019 in Toronto, Canada. That's when I got to see it. It was awesome. Here's his achievement. 3-time WWE World Champion. 1-time SmackDown Tag Team Champion. 1-time Raw Tag Team Champion. Looking at his WrestleMania moments at WrestleMania 30, he faced John Cena in one of the most anticipated matches of the night. At WrestleMania 36, he defeated Cena in the Firefly Funhouse match, and that was one of the most creative cinematic matches ever. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year. If you like what I'm saying, hit that subscribe button. Let's go take a look at the chat. Matthew Rodriguez says that if Bray Wyatt gets inducted this year, Triple H has to start off the Hall of Fame, and the last speech is Bray Wyatt making fans sit through the whole show, because last year fans left WWE Hall of Fame 2024. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think that he should be a person that should start it off, definitely, and let the person to end it be Bray Wyatt if he's inducted this year. Dominique says if she could name others, The Rock, John Cena, and Test. The Rock is not in it yet, no, but he will be in it, undeniably. John Cena, undeniably. And Test, I don't really know what Test's contribution to pro wrestling were. I mean, if they needed a name, they could put him in there, but I don't really think that he's like a person that we should put in the front of the line. Thank you so much for your comment. Appreciate that. Wait, we got a hot take alert. We got a hot take alert from Matthew Rodriguez. He says one of the biggest presentations is Bray Wyatt, and for the male is Bray Wyatt, and for the women's is Timeless Toni Storm. Do you agree? And what similarities do you see in Bray and Toni? You know what, Matt? I'm starting to think something about you. I'm starting to think that you're a big fan of Timeless Toni Storm. And yes, I think there are a lot of similarities between Timeless Toni Storm and Bray Wyatt because of the way that they just embody the persona. When you go into social media, you don't see things that are outside of that persona. You see things that tie back into that persona. So that blurs the lines. You don't know where real starts and where wrestling starts. You don't know. Thank you so much for your comment, Dominique and Matthew. You guys are really interactive today. And don't forget, I am live every Tuesday and Fridays at noon here on YouTube, 12 noon Eastern. But if you subscribe, you'll always get that notification that I am live, because some days, I just pick a random day because of life, or some days I might just throw in an extra show last minute because something's on my heart. Like Monday I talked about, who Jey Uso should pick for for his WrestleMania match because he won the Royal Rumble. But I needed to do it Monday. The reason why I needed to do it Monday was because I knew that Raw was coming on Monday night, and he might make the decision, and he did. He chose who I said that he should choose, and that was Gunther. Going back to Bray, his untimely passing and the Hall of Fame debate, if Bray Wyatt was still alive, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He would just be building his legacy because he would have so many more years. In 2023, Bray Wyatt tragically passed away at 36 years old, cutting his career short. WWE does, however, wait years before inducting people that have passed away, but Bray's impact is so profound that many believe that he deserves that honor now. Who should accept it on his behalf? I think two people should accept it on his behalf. His brother Bo Dallas, who is Uncle Howdy in the WWE right now, the leader of the Wyatt Six, or is he the leader of the Wyatt Six? We got some things we got to watch. And Mika Rotunda. Mika Rotunda is the sister of Bray Wyatt. I think that both of them should accept on his behalf because they were his siblings. And Bo even said that he was close. He was really close with his brother. You saw the documentary last WrestleMania season. So yeah, I definitely think that he should. My final verdict is that Bray Wyatt's legacy demands a Hall of Fame spot in 2025. Look, Bray Wyatt wasn't just a wrestler. He was a visionary. His characters, his promos, his matches, they're going to live forever. And his influence is already shaping the next generation of pro wrestling. And his untimely passing only makes it more important to honor his contributions now rather than waiting years down the line. But here's the most important question. What do you think? Do you think that WWE should induct Bray Wyatt in 2025 or should they wait? Drop your comments in the chat. Let's go back to the chat one last time. Matthew Rodriguez says that it's inevitable. Jim Johnston for the WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah, 100%. Put him in there. He should be in there. He's the guy that made a lot of the most iconic songs, from the Undertaker song to Stone Cold song to the Rock song. Any song that you know from the WWE from like the 90s to like early 20-teens is probably Jim Johnston. He also says that this year Demolition enters because they signed WWE deals. You know, Demolition, they're really cool guys. I actually ended up driving them when they did a wrestling show a couple years ago, drove them to their hotel and stuff like that. Very awesome guys. Final thoughts. Cyndi Lauper, Tommy Dreamer, Ray Charles, and Bray Wyatt. 4 legends in their own right, but what do you think? Talk to me in the chat, in the comments. I read all messages and I respond to them all, whether it's live or on demand. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear your picks. Name one wrestler and one celebrity who should be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Drop your chat. Drop your picks in the chat comments. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. I want to hear your picks for the 2025 Hall of Fame. Name one wrestler and one celebrity who should be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year. Tell me that in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Tristan Law, and this is the Tristan Law Show. We talked about a lot today, and I can't wait to talk to you again this Tuesday at noon right here on YouTube. Whether you're watching this live or on demand, I want you to do some things right now for me. I want you to like, share, and leave me a comment, and give me a subscribe. Go ahead, subscribe if you're still here. And if you are listening to this on the podcast-only format, man, you're missing out the live interaction. This is Tristan Law, and I'm Tristan Law. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive.